Yes. Now, before we get into girl chat, Loni.
Yes.
I saw that you got to hang out with someone pretty amazing over the weekend. Why don't you tell us about that?
Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
I was in New York last weekend and for my radio show, Cafe Mocha Radio, and we got this opportunity to go to this great event that was called A Toast to Taraji P. Henson.
Wow.
It was put on by the Westchester County, New York chapter of Links Incorporated, and I got to interview her. She's a great woman, and she has a new memoir out. It's called Around the Way Girl.
Yeah,
okay?
she is really that way, you guys. She's so down to earth and humble.
Yes. Yeah. We had a great sit-down interview. You can hear more of the interview on my radio show, cafemocharadio.com. But I just wanted to thank Taraji. She's just a great woman. And check out her book, Around the Way Girl. It's such a great book because I started reading it. It's juicy. It's
really?
Yes. She's telling a lot. She's talking about a lot of stuff. Because, you know, we forget Taraji has been in the game for a baby boy.
Benjamin Button.
Exactly.
Wait, Oscar nominated
know
that? Major.
You know her first role ever was on Sister Sister.
No
way!
No. She played our friend on Sister Sister. Her first ever role. Yeah. So I
Did
know
she have that
Taraji
fast then too?
Yes. And
I
too.
love
It was so much fun.
That is
obviously
so
very
awesome.
talented.
so
yeah,
Very,
a lot of
very
people didn't know
talented.
that.
So we're very, very happy for her, and that was a great announcement. So thank you for letting me share that.
I love it when we share, like, what's going on.
Exactly.
That's so much fun.
Because we got another announcement that I'm excited to hear about. Miss Adrienne, I heard that the wedding showers have officially begun, girl.
Oh, my God. So, we had a wedding shower here. I'm gonna be honest, I just totally made up that name, a wedding shower. Pretty much, I didn't want to do, like, a bridal shower without Iz.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I love all of you guys, but like, if we're celebrating us getting married, I wanted to be celebrating with him.
Yeah.
So we made up this thing. We're like, oh, we're having a Mr. and a Mrs. party, and we had so much fun. Jeannie was in charge of games.
It was so fun.
Let's just say we didn't play fake it or take it. Okay. They were a little risque, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I love Adrienne has great friends, and you know when you can tell a lot about a person through
All
their
her
company.
friends are gorgeous too.
Everybody was
dang,
down.
they're also sexy.
Yeah, and Israel had a lot of fun with it. It was
his
so
family was
cool.
there.
Freddie helped out with the games.
I loved it. It was a lot of good times.
Talk about your Eiffel Tower thing. Your
We
little
couldn't
DIY.
wait because we got engaged in Paris. We were like, let's just go with the Parisian theme. And that's like how my dressing room is decorated. I love everything Paris. So we did that. There was Eiffel Towers with picture frames. And it was so much fun. Me and that sweaty upper lip. But my family in New York felt some type of way.
Wow.
They were like, we want to celebrate with you too. So my sister told me we were gonna, this weekend when I was in New York City, she was like, oh, we're gonna do like a little brunch for you, Adrienne. Like, just come and meet me, Mommy and Titi Fuji, and like my family, the women of my family.
Yeah.
And when I showed up, you guys, they showed out for me. My family did a beautiful bridal shower for me. It was all girls this time. It was all girls. Angie Martinez, my really good friend Ashley Weatherspoon helped put it together with my sister, and it was just a great time. I literally, like, we laughed, I cried tears of joy, sharing stories, because these are the people that I have the same friends since I was born, pretty much, since I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
Me and Ashley have been friends now for over 20 years, so it was just awesome.
So cool.
That's so
And I got a lot of panties and lingerie. Lots of panties and lingerie.
This is a great moment right now for you. So just, you know, take it all in, soak it in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
So
sorry
happy.
we couldn't be there. Tam and I were working.
No,
so
I know
we
you were
yeah.
working.
Yes, I was working.
You got good things. She's got good things in the works, you guys, and I always get happy
When
for that.
Taraji comes on our show, we'll forgive you. You're all forgiven. It's okay.
I love it. All right, now, are you guys ready for some girl chat?
Yes.
Let's get it going. I love it when we get to share our stuff. First Lady Michelle Obama recently spoke out at a New Hampshire campaign event for Hillary Clinton, where she discussed Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's remarks regarding his alleged sexual harassment of women. Now, to me, this is so much bigger than politics. This is an issue that many women have to deal with every day, and we need to we need this call to action to let people know it won't be tolerated anymore.
Yeah.
And this is really personal to me because I've experienced this. You know, I pretty much grew up in the music industry since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is it was almost like common knowledge. Like, guys are going to hit on you.
Yep.
You know, you have to learn at a very young age, sadly, how to handle that, how to handle men in power or producers that, you know, make you feel like you need something from them or they can help your career. So you're made to feel like, okay, how do I handle this one?
Right.
Where I don't feel disrespected, but at the same time, I don't offend them because you're worried if you offend them, then that you may lose an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's such a sad and scary place to be. And even worse is those young women that didn't know how to handle it, who maybe weren't witty enough to play the ha ha ha, but we're staying here with it. And then sadly they go through with it and you never hear their albums, their records never come out. Or they did what was asked of them and then they get tossed.
Still didn't get right.
They get tossed like yesterday's garbage because the conquest is over. That's not cool. I hate that it was almost made to seem like that's just something that's going to happen. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But do we have to take that? Do we have to deal with it?
No. First of all, I've dealt in, because I'm a comic and I was also engineer, both of those industries are male-dominated.
Yeah.
And I've had men that there's a difference between flirting, because when a man flirts with you, you can say, no, thank you, and he'll leave you alone. Harassment is totally different.
Yes.
It's like saying you grabbing me or you're going to do this or you say no. It's something totally different. We have to distinguish that. What I was proud of is that I went and talked to some of my male friends, and they were comics, people like that, and they were like, we don't do this type of talk.
No.
And I was so proud of the friends that I know,
Yes.
because for them to be a man and say, no, this is not how all men act. I think it was a great example.
Exactly. I think sadly people try to pass it off as, oh, this is just something men do. This is locker room talk. This is whatever. But like, I even experienced an executive that would kiss me on the lips. Like, if he saw me going through the hallways, it would be like, hi. And I'd
Did
be
you
like,
ever like turn?
At
Did you ever
first, the
turn
first
your
time it
cheek?
happened, if I'm very honest, I thought it was an accident.
Okay.
So when you're younger and you're a teenager,
That's how it starts.
you think, has that any happened to somebody where you go to give a kiss to somebody and you're like, oh, sorry.
I do the dodge.
But no, it consistently happened to the point where I was like, this ain't cool, man. Like now he knows I'm not gonna say anything.
Right.
Which is not okay. Obviously that happened then. I would never allow that to happen now.
Right.
But a lot of women are in fear. And you ask yourself, well, why do they let them get away with it?
Right.
Fear has a big part to do with it. And two, these men are usually
famous.
Because you're famous, you
can get away with it.
can get away
but
with it.
it's not always even that. Sadly, it spans very wide across many cultures where it's okay. I remember the first time I went to a club in Palo Alto. It was called The Edge. And I was so excited because, like, I was going with my girlfriends. When the girls get ready, you got the music on. I put on some cute leggings, and I had, like, my T-shirt I cropped. I thought I was looking fly.
Right.
And I walked into the club, and it was super crowded. And I remember as I was walking to the table where my girlfriends were at, and I was a teenager, right? I felt my boob just, like my breast, get grabbed. And I was like, what? Whoa, that was weird. And you're shocked. When it first happens to you, you don't, well, I didn't know how to react. I just was like, whoa. Yeah. And then you just kind of go, okay, it's really crowded. There's a lot of people. I'm swimming through people, so it's fine. And then the next thing I know, another guy reached under, like in between, right underneath, and just grabbed. And I felt things.
Are
and
you
I'm not kidding you. And I immediately turned around and I saw him. I knew exactly what it was because I saw the hand and I grabbed his hand. I was like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And he turned to me and he said, why are you dressed like that? Don't you want some attention? And I couldn't believe it. So then I pushed him because I was so mad. I was like, what are you talking about? Don't talk to me like that. And my boyfriend at the time saw me push him. He pushed me back. My boyfriend got on top of him. They started fighting. We all get kicked out and I'm sitting in the car feeling totally disgusting with my boyfriend who had a busted lip at the time. And I'm like, I caused this. I felt horrific. And then I just will never forget, as I was taking a shower and when you get touched in a place where it's a foreign person.
Yeah.
You feel disgusting. I felt numb from the waist down because it was such a violation, you know? And I'll never forget, it took years to understand that there's a difference between uneducated, ignorant men and real men who stand up and do the right thing. Yes, shout out to that, for sure.
That's crazy.
And then I started to think about getting dressed, too. Like, can we wear things that are body skimming? Can we show off our body and be proud of what God gave us without...
Yes, you can. That's your right.
That's
you can wear whatever you want, and nobody should touch you.
Say it, though, Jeannie.
And here's what I realized, too. A woman's style can give off any message. That's our power. That's our right. But a woman's style will never say, this is yours.
Right.
Ever.
No, never.
But Jeannie,
no, you absolutely right.
I hate to say, even women who don't
dress, you know, a certain way,
Let it be
they're
known.
still gonna do that. I know for me, y'all know, like I hardly ever wear like things
Scantily
showing.
clad
Yeah.
things.
Although I'm working on it a little bit. You know, I like to
You
show
know,
just
Tamara.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I can remember I was sheltered, honestly. So I lived on a sound stage 4 years, living that childhood, you know, actress kind of a life.
And
So that
no
when-
one ever came on to you guys? in
No,
that
but
way?
not until we turned 18. And I kind of like,
Filled out.
you know, came into the world.
Right.
Like, hello, world.
Yeah, you had
And
your
that's-
parents to protect you.
Yes, I did have my parents. But not only that, it's the way men look at you. They don't have to touch you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can sense that they're undressing you
Yes.
with their eyes. And
Yes.
I remember as a young girl just feeling like, oh God, do I have to hide
Yes.
even
You
more?
question it for
You
a second.
question yourself a little bit. But obviously, you know, now that I'm older,
Well,
I know
I remember you were right
No,
about
that's
that
not
because I remember when I
right.
was young, it was about 12, and you know, 12, I was like, I had a body of a
Yeah.
30-year-old. Okay? I was like, because I was always a big girl, and
Yeah.
I remember walking in my neighborhood, and this old man,
Yeah.
he said something so disgusting. And you know, I'm from Detroit. I went
Yeah.
and told my mama. My mama went down, and believe me, that man never touched me again or said anything to me ever again. It's just.
Do you guys think, I'm just honestly curious, there's a lot of women in our audience. How many of you feel that you have ever been sexually harassed?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hands that just went up, you guys.
Yeah.
I think it goes both ways too. Let's
That's
just
what I
be
was gonna
honest.
ask, yeah.
There's men out there, because I got to speak up for the men, where women, I think it just becomes a level of understanding respect
Yeah.
and space.
Boundaries.
Boundaries, because
Right.
nobody ever deserves to touch anybody else.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, more importantly, too, it's not abusing your power if you're in a position of power. You know, to understand that
Yeah.
just because you're the boss, you know, like, okay, I can use myself as an example. I'm on a television show. A lot of people want to be on television. They want to pitch their product, or they want to
Yeah.
do. I could go out and be like, yeah, I can get you on the reel if you give me some of that, you know what, right?
You
But
could.
I don't do that. That's not what you do as
Yeah.
human beings. You
Yeah.
respect each other. I think that's why everybody's so angry about this, is that people are abusing their power and making these false promises. And, you know, especially when you're young, you don't know. She was young.
Yeah.
Somebody kissing her in the mouth.
I was
You
like,
don't
what
do
the
that
heck
to
is
somebody.
this?
You know,
Yeah.
you have to fight. We have to start respecting each other. And I also want to say that if you're a woman out there that you're experiencing harassment, please just say no. Tell them to stop. Look them in the eye and tell them, I am not okay with this. Stop. Please. That at least
up
gives
for
you some
yourself.
power. Stand up for yourself. It's okay. You'll be all right. Believe that.
Let's respect one another, you guys.